Good morning, Options Trade King, Ice King here. Just having my coffee, looking over charts. I've been up for a few hours just charting different charts. Getting ready for the account challenge next week. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys futures here over the last couple days. So we had a pullback to the 20 EMA. Okay. And just looking at this big picture, right? So here we have this big wedge. So if we took, if we wanted to know what this is going to fall to right away, take this initial height of what it had recently been trading at, okay? That would have been just our early first target, when sure enough, that's right where it hit, okay? To go back further and, get this full height, not here, but right here, okay? Down to the channel. Let's go put that on here. You can see on the next bounce down, we hit that. And then if you wanted to go out and go to, try and get a flagpole here and go down to the next lowest point down here, okay? We could have put that here, and there was your next price target, and that's where we were at when we hit this bounce, okay? And right now we're on the verge of a breakout, okay? If we break out right here, we will get right back up towards the previous trend line. So I would imagine, that's where we would bounce and get some consolidation and then try and break through and get through this trend line. Okay. But ES is having a breakout right now. Okay. And that's so 451 up to 453. Really at market open, it might be, we'll see what this is at, but that might be worth taking a, I have to see here because we got an hour and a half before the market opens, guys. So this might play out in the next hour and a half. We have to watch, but if it hasn't, I think this would be a great time to take a call. Okay. We see and then we see. But there are your futures. And guys, I've been telling you guys, but you can chart within charts, right? Here was just a sideways, descending channel. We take that height of this channel, put it right there, and that's where we got for a breakout. Okay, and now it's still going. All right. So there's futures for you. I'm not really too concerned here. Like I said, I think every once in a while we have these. I mean, here was applied to the 50 EMA. But see here, so every month, I told you guys we've been having, the middle of every month, it's been pulling back to the 50 EMA, right? But here, just like this, we had a 20 EMA pullback also. In between, we had a 20 EMA pullback, 20 EMA before a 50 EMA. Gosh damn it. Sorry about that. Okay, and so then we had here's a 9 EMA pullback, and now we're just having 20 EMA pullback. Okay, that's very common, healthy for a stock to have these pullbacks. Okay, so but I don't think we're in any danger here of not seeing this continue, but that's why we watch and follow and see what happens next. I know Lulu, I think, was going absolutely nuts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's causing this rip out this morning, but that's a pretty big, that's a good breakout right there. And if I had to chart this out, I'm not sure how this is going to work here. Okay, It's way past that even. I mean, that would have brought us right back up to the previous high, but it's broken through that. So we'll have to see what happens here at open. Yeah, we'll have to watch and see how this reacts at open. I'm not sure what's driving that big push. I need to go look at the news, see what's going on with it. Update Lululemon posted higher fiscal quarter 2 profits, beats estimates, forecasts. Well, I didn't realize they had earnings. Okay, so they blew it out of the water. So earnings, that's what's causing it. Let's look at some other stocks. I went over a bunch of these last night. So if you guys watched last night, really not going to much change today because we're, it's pre-market. But honestly, something's about to happen here with Apple. We're right on this trend line here that it's been following up. Looks like it might break down, but not necessarily. I mean, if it doesn't, you can see it's been doing this, right? It trades down and jumps in the morning. So we'll have to see that this might jump right away in the morning and get back up to this upper channel again, keep climbing. But if not, probably pull down. If it breaks down right at open here, right, it'll pull down to the 20 EMA, which would make sense. Airbnb, we had a perfect breakout the other day. We hit that price target that I mentioned in chat. I thought we'd hit. You guys go back and look at that. I talked about this right here when it was first breaking out of this channel. I didn't post a play, but I said the Airbnb is breaking out. Go take a look. Sure enough, I said I thought it hit the 166.50, and then I kind of corrected it. I said maybe just 166, but I thought 166 to 166.50, and we actually hit 166.55. Okay. And now, like I said, now a new pattern's forming. Now it looks like a wedge might be forming here. We have to wait and kind of see here. Watch, it's not quite ready to be. It's not quite developed yet, but might be seeing a wedge like this forming for another breakup. Good morning, good morning. AMD. So I showed you guys, here was a wedge, right? And if this wedge failed, immediate drop down would have been to right where it's at. And it has the potential to keep going lower. Okay. You can also see on a previous, let me just get rid of these quick. There was a previous trend line here from up here, right? Right there. You can see how it interacted here, almost there. And now it's interacting with it again right here. We could, if it breaks down lower, it could very well break down and we could continue this downtrend channel, right? But it doesn't mean it's going to, because we've been seeing lots of things. So this hit the first price target of the height of this. We could very well see this reverse and continue upward. Now, I don't think that's going to happen just because, yesterday, so the MACD crossed down the zero line. It's actually been below the zero line. It's been trending down really since, the end of August here. Tried to break up, but it couldn't hold. And right here, the MACD leader over looks like it's turning. These look like they're turning. It looks like it's going to go lower before it goes higher. Okay. Not saying it will, but it looks like it. We just have to wait to see how this opens and see if it keeps confirming. ARC had a breakdown out of this channel. So I think the reason I drew this two ways was, I'm going to show you guys real quick. Okay, so here was kind of a false breakdown, false breakout, and then it tanked, right? So I kind of re-looked at it, went on hang on. So if we did the height of this channel, a breakdown only gets us to right here, which you can see it did bounce right there. There was a support resistance right here, okay? Or right below, that 9 EMA. But really what I wanted to look at after I kind of started pulling back on this was that a different trend had formed here, right? This is a wider channel, but if you look back a little bit, This had a support going through there, but this was kind of a wider channel. And so if you measure that height now, now you see that when it broke down, we would have hit right here. And that's right where it, it did go a little bit lower. But that's where it stopped. Okay. I think I did. I don't know where this is from. Maybe right here. I went back to here and did the highest. I was trying to look for the biggest, kind of deviation here. I put that on there and it lined right up. But that's what you're looking for, right? Is price deviation to see where your price targets are, what the capability is for it to drop. Okay, and then we see. I also did a flagpole down to here, and if that continues to fall, it could go all the way down to the 200 EMA. That's where that lands at. But that would take some time. Okay, but there's ARC for you. It's downtrending now again. BA, talked about this last night a little bit. Should have bailed on this one. Really, when they realized this was a false breakout, we got to less than 50% and it pulled right back in. I shouldn't have gotten stubborn. We should have just gotten out on this. Came back down and hit, and I thought it still had a chance, but I should have known. We just shouldn't have waited. When you know the play doesn't go your way, it's best just to get out. And I got stubborn and didn't do it. So the other day, tried to average down right here. Which is about right here. Went a little bit lower, but did bounce back up. Next day, it opened up really high, and I thought, oh, good. We're going to try and retest this resistance line right here, right? It instantly reversed, and when it started reversing right here, that's when I messaged you guys that I was getting out because it was going back lower. And sure enough, we went lower. Okay, now we are on a support line, but I'm going to sit back and wait and watch now for a while on this one, see what it does. Dash. Oh, this is that's a different tool, sorry. Dash right here, we had, so first price target, high of this, right? First price target hit. We'll zoom in here a little bit. So actually it would have been at the first point of breakout right here. So we hit that right away and the next day open, and then we got back up there. So then we could look at this height to other recent lows, which would have been like right here. Okay, flagpole. Put that at the same point, and that's exactly where we topped out at. Okay, no coincidence. I say, guys, it's just very visual and easy. It's a lot easier than fibs and different things, but we can always go over those too if you'd like. But this is just a very easy way to, if you can start seeing these patterns and just charting a little bit, you can get an idea where things are going in short terms. Disney. So here you can see I've been charting Disney a few different ways. Yeah, technically I had kind of a breakout yesterday. We were in this wedge type channel. Yes, I mean, I want to rechart that. Give me 1 second here. Let me take a look at this. I had so many charts drawn on there. Okay, so we have a trend line here forming. Yep. Okay. So it did kind of a fake breakout here. On this bigger wedge, it was forming, right? So I mean, you see it up, came down. I mean, we did a little bit of a breakout here, but then it pulled right back in, and now it's trying to decide what to do. We still might see this breakout. Okay, actually, let me redraw this again. I'm just trying to visualize it. There we go. There we go. There's a wedge. Okay. So breakout, this would have been your entry. So actually, this looks like a good place to take a call right now. Something that could form in the next few days, which let's just look at the kind of the height here. What could potentially be in the near future would be 190. Okay. Which $5 move. So I'm going to leave that up on here. We can review that the rest of this week and see how it plays out. Anything else, guys? Anything you guys want to see? Here was a downward wedge. Broke out, didn't quite get full range here. Here's that height. Here's what broke out at. Ended up just a little bit short of it before pulling back. And now we could even rechart this. Okay, and look for different breakouts. See, we have a wedge forming here also. Okay, so another potential pattern we could watch for on this one. Google started a descending channel right here, so be looking for a break one way or the other out of this channel. Here you can see Disney was a wedge, right? You can see resistance, support, descending. Really probably go to not this full height. What I would probably gone to is this height right here to this height, just because that's more where it touches both those points, and that's where it would have hit to. Okay, and then it reversed right away. Same thing though. We go to this side, and that's about where it got to on the downside. Okay, bounced again, and now we're in this descending channel. How about AMC? Thank you for somebody asking something. All right, AMC. Well, it depends on what you want to look at here. Wedge right here, breakout. Wedge right here, breakout. All right, so here was the most recent one. Okay, that height out of the breakout is right where we got up to. And now I'd probably start trying to chart this here. I'd watch this a little bit longer, but you can see we might be getting a little bit of a wedge formed here. Otherwise, on the bigger picture, you could be looking at a wedge like this. Okay. Actually, we'll go right there. Now we'll sit there. Yeah, something like this is forming. Okay. So if we see this breakout, we could see that break up to here, pull back, and then continue on. We'll have to watch. AMC's kind of a meme stock, guys, so it can make sudden changes for no reason. Just keep that in mind. A brief breakdown works for me. If you could already did want to see what to expect closing out the week. What do you mean? Big respect to what? Are you talking about with BBIG? Yeah, let's see what. Okay, so I showed you guys wedge, first price target, second price target, hit, wedge. First price. Now, that's I told you guys this the other day. Like this one dragged out for a day and a half. You had a lot of time to take this breakout. But your short-term breakout could have been this trading height right here. Okay, and you put that right there. That's right where it got to. Okay, and then price target 2, or your next price target would have been maybe a little further, would have been the whole channel at the highest part. Okay, and that just hit here recently, and now it's pulling back. I can see that we're already breaking. We broke down a little bit yesterday. And we're starting to kind of form a wedge right there. Broke down, but that's a pretty small wedge. And if that continues, that'll only pull us back down to right here, which is a verified support line. Okay. You can see there's a verified support line in here. So if that breaks down, that could pull down right there and then keep going. But it looks like it's going to pull down here for just a little bit. But like I said, but this stuff is so memey, guys. It could get bought up, but if it does fail below that, then we'll fail the height of the flagpole. Okay. And that would pull us back down to the 20 EMA. All right. So I would expect, we'll see what happens here at open, but I would expect you probably see a pull down to that $9 level and then see where it goes from there. See if it gets a bounce, if this support can hold, or if it fails and we go lower. Would I hold off on calls on BBIG? Yeah, I probably wouldn't right now. But like I said, I don't play this memey stuff, guys. Like I said, I got burned really bad on SNDL and AMC and GameStop. I got back in February. I had one of my biggest days ever, and I decided I'm going to hold it for one more day. And the next day is when they fucking froze it everywhere and only let you sold it. And man, I lost probably $80,000 that day. I was pissed. So I just decided to take that as my role not to play that crap anymore. You can see here, looks like we're getting a trend line developed. Okay, that would be on a bigger picture. So if this does pull back, and it would take some time, right? So it falls down slowly today. We have a support right here, and we have that trend line support. Okay, so we might see support hold right here. If support holds right here, you could look at taking a call right here. Bail if it goes lower, hold if it goes higher. Just waiting. You got to wait and see and watch for confirmation. But this stock looks like it's been giving you guys a decent amount of confirmation. So, here was a breakout, but it broke out over 12:15 to till the end of the day, right? And this breakout took a day and a half to happen. So this breakdown could drag out a little bit. Anything else you guys want to see? More than happy to pull up any stock, coin. Here you can see, like I said, charting within charts, guys. That's how my charts are going to start looking, because I'm going to start be watching this really closely for trading that 2,500 account. Here was a breakdown, and now we started this new downward channel. Okay. Microsoft is having a breakout. I'll be damned. Okay. We'll wait to see how this confirms this morning, but this could be a great place to take a call. So we'll wait to see if this confirms. But here you can see last time it did it, it broke out perfect. It hit price target 1, but never really got much better than price target 1. I mean, it did a little bit, but not much. Definitely not a flagpole. Okay, but if it does break out again, we have a channel height that would break us back out up to the 303 levels. Okay, and when these breakouts happen, it usually happens within a day. So you could take a really high risk on that and do a weekly, but if it pays off, it'll pay you big. Just know that it could go to zero if the breakout doesn't continue. you want a little bit of safety, you could take next Friday's calls, and you can take next Friday's calls and decide what to do from there. But here you can see, so we broke out of this trend, right? And look at this, the MACD. So it wasn't a downward trend, and the MACD is showing us that it's about to break, or it's about to try and break over the zero line. And the zero line is how we tell if something's trending up or down, right? Trending up, broke the zero line, trended down, it tried, kept trending down, but here we're about to go try again. And you can see that on the charts here. Last time it crossed up is when it broke out right here. And then it went into this downtrend and this down channel, represented right here. You can see it got really close to trying to break out right here, but stayed in that downward channel, and now we're trying to break out again. Okay, but that is beautiful. I would, if I was doing the 2500K room, I'd probably take that in the morning, this morning. So there's Microsoft for you though, but Frankie, Microsoft looks like maybe a good place to take a call. Anything else you guys want to see? More than happy to pull it up. LRCX. Here's a perfect example, guys, of an LRCX is another one of those big stocks. A lot of guys play this because it has such huge swings. So here we had the high of the channel, right? And we got to about 50%. It had a breakout. We got to 50%. It struggled, and whoosh, okay? We take this and put on the downside, and it hit the downside exactly where we expected. Okay. And then it went down further. Well, if we go back here and measure that flagpole, you can see we didn't quite get to that target, but it's close. Hang on, I should have done it from the top of where this channel was at, where we started this channel. So I started this channel right here to that recent low. Okay. So yeah, we didn't quite get there, but it was heading there, and then it's bouncing. Then we see. Okay, but this is why you got to be careful. False breakout, and man, there's no warning for this. This would have just if you were doing a weekly or a short-term swing. First of all, this would not have had you up very much. Okay, and then the next day it would have opened right here. If you didn't sell out open, I mean, fuck, it was just this would just merge if you're on a weekly. All right, guys. If you guys don't have anything else that you want to see, we can just call it a day. Let me look at NFLX real quick. I haven't charted this one yet. There you can see we have a support line. Got a wedge. Okay. Couple contacts. High of that at the first breakout. It hit, and then it even went. If we go from there to your next low right here, which is really close, just right there. But we got to that next price. We got to that full price target right there. And then it went just a little bit higher, but now it's struggling, right? Now what I would probably look at is I want to see where this kind of goes this morning, but there's not a lot of contacts here. I'd like a little bit more confirmation that this wedge is actually formed, but that's what I'd be kind of looking for here. All right, guys. Have a good day in the room. If you need anything, holler at me. Oh, no, I'm going to do NVIDIA real quick. Just because someone did a call on NVIDIA yesterday. Who was it? Was that Dark Knight? Who did the NVIDIA call? Mr. Squeeze. Mr. Squeeze did the NVIDIA call. 240 call for 924. You know, I liked what he was seeing there. What time did he take that? 11:45 yesterday. So he took that on this bounce right here. Okay. So here, so there you can see a downward trend. Okay. Downward trend. When we broke down, it's right where we hit. Okay. And then he took that somewhere right in here, that call, and he was looking for this, this recovery and then potentially a continuation. I don't think that's going to continue this morning, though. These are kind of showing that it's been overbought. RSI is still not over. It's neutral, but slow stow and DMI indicators are up high. And then MACD was curving under the zero line yesterday. So if that MACD curves still, I mean, this support is not going to hold, and we're going to go lower. Okay. Add one more confirmation. You can see there is a trend line involved in right there. So we could very well be seeing a channel like this forming, in which case we'll just keep going lower. We'll have to watch this one. I'll leave this chart up. I'll save it so we have it. We can watch it. We can look at it tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good day. I'm gonna do the SPY contest here in a minute. So get ready to enter your entries. I think I'll do it till 11 a.m. EST tomorrow. But I'm gonna set that up right now. So have any questions, hit me up in chat.